And it's been a tough few years for the Latrobe Valley with high unemployment and, of course, the Morwell mine fire of last year that impacted the town in many ways. Through ReActivate Latrobe, an RMIT incentive, the valley has been transformed into a glowing swathe of colour and smiling faces. The Get Sunflowered project will celebrate its success tomorrow with a garden party and free sunflowers for everyone who comes along. Tony Lee is the workplace coordinator for the project and can tell us more about this positive project. Good morning to you, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I like I've seen the photo in The Age. For those who haven't seen it, page 9 of yesterday's Age is a stunning photo of. Is that your handsome self or not? I
actually didn't see The Age from yesterday. That might be Linton from the Morwell side.
No. He's much more handsome than Linton.
Oh, I can't remember my photo being taken by The Age, so I'm not too sure. I'll have to check.
Never mind. Tell those who haven't read The Age, as I have, about the Sunflower Project. Why and what happened?
Well, the Sunflower Project, as you mentioned, is being done by the ReActivate the Latrobe Valley team, and there's 5 sites across the valley. So there's 2 in Morwell, 2 in Moe, and 1 in Traralgon. And it's basically to look at turning old, unloved sites that were a bit of an eyesore into something that looks spectacular. So starting early December, so the Traralgon site was the first one to be planted on the 6th of December. So we had a team of people there, all volunteers, and we all showed up there in hats and boots and working hard for the whole day. And by the end of that day, we had the ground turned over and all the plants, all the seeds in. And the whole idea is just to try to create this, as I said, these unloved areas into little showcases that people actually enjoy. So since they've been flowering, which has been, the Traralgon site's probably been in flower for about 2.5 weeks, we've probably had around about 15 to 20 people come past, either by car or walking, taking photographs and stopping and asking questions. And everyone that comes to the sites who's asking these questions are always smiling and really happy because the flowers just look so spectacular.
So what is it about flowers? Is it the fact it's in an unexpected place? If I drive past a sunflower farm, I see sunflowers, I say sunflower farm production ho-hum.
Yeah.
Why, when I drive past the sites with which you've been involved, do I not just say ho-hum?
Well, I think it's because there's just this firstly there's the big splash of colour, and yellow is just a really happy colour. And I'm not too sure exactly what the colour yellow reflects to when you look at but if you speak to a psychologist, I'm sure that yellow would be a happy colour. The other thing is it's unexpected to see sunflowers growing in mass in the valley because sunflowers aren't normally grown in this part of Victoria at all, particularly in a commercial sense. You see a lot of them growing around in gardens in groups of 5 or 10. But we've got a group of 3,000 on Queen's Parade, and Linton's probably got, in Morwell, he's probably got a group of about 6,000 there. So having that mass is just so unexpected.
And the fact that there are a number of sites, is there a message in that? Is there some, collegiate story about all this as well, Tony?
Well, I think it's more of about trying to knit the 3 towns together, Moe, Morwell and Traralgon together, to try to get away from the parochialism of the towns and try to share it as the whole valley is doing. The whole valley is doing something for the whole valley rather than town by town by town, which has happened in the past. As you mentioned, the valley has gone through some hard times over a long time, and this is just a little bit of a happiness story to make people feel good.
So who is it? We're talking to Tony Lee. He's involved with the Get Sunflowered project. Who is the bright spark who, in, I imagine, some multi-storied building in Melbourne, says Latrobe Valley, some real issues down there, mine fire, people not happy. I know what? Sunflowers.
Well, I think again, there's a whole team of people behind it. I guess Ben Morrison, he's an artist based, I think, currently in Melbourne, but he was the one that came up with the concept of sunflowers, and I believe he possibly approached ReActivate the Latrobe Valley and sort of said, hey, how about we do something like this? And the ReActivate team sort of said that's a good idea. So sometime last year it was put into place. I only really came on the scene, obviously, quite late last year when there was call out for volunteers to come and help. But I would assume that this was planned probably even 12 months before the first soil was dug, just to get the permissions in place and so on like that. Because we've got sponsorships from a large number of different organisations, both public and private, to help with it, just to with the help growing of the sunflowers.
Tony, I have to interrupt there. Can you tell us about the garden party briefly, please? Because we have news about to hit us.
Okay. Well, tomorrow between 1 and 4, so this is on Sunday, between 1 and 4, we're having a garden party. So the tennis court will be opened up so people can wander around and look at the sunflowers. There will be music, there will be food on sale, and anyone that comes on that day will be given a sunflower out of the garden. So they can walk away with a little bit of happiness in their hand.
Excellent work. Tony, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
That's Tony Lee there from the Get Sunflowered project. Having seen the photo, it's something I would bother. I'm not a garden person, but something I would bother to see. It's a striking bit of colour in the middle of the valley.